Hello my dear learners, welcome back to online learning platform of Shri Baswa Public School. I hope you all are fine at home. Children, today's session is going to be based on the poem from your textbook Honey Dew, Unit 6, and the poem name is The Duck and the Kangaroo. In previous video, we have seen that the introductory part of the poem, reading as well as explanation, and lastly we discussed the summary of the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. So now in today's session I am going to discuss the message of the poem, poetic device of the poem, and lastly the rhyming scheme of the poem. So I hope you all are ready, and I hope you all have already watched the first part of the poem. So now let's start this video with the little recap of the first part. Children, the story starts with the two best friends, Kangaroo and Duck, where Duck was very fascinated by the hops of Kangaroo and he wishes to go on a ride by sitting on its tail and hopping like Kangaroo. And he was bored with his nasty pond. He was bored with his daily routine life, and now he want to hop on the fields and the water too, like Kangaroo. So he requested Kangaroo to take him to a long drive to hop the whole world. So he requested him as well as promised him that he will not make noise and sit steadily on its tail, on Kangaroo's tail. But Kangaroo have a problem that he can't allow a duck to sit on its back or tail because the duck feet are wet and cold, because obviously it lives in the pond, so the duck feet will be cold and wet. But for this problem also the duck was having a solution, and it said here that I have purchased woolen socks, a long jacket or a coat, as well as I'll smoke every day. You don't bother about that problem. Then Kangaroo was having a issue regarding wet and cold feet, because it will give him, if he allows the duck to sit on its tail with cold and wet feet, then he will get a disease which is called as rheumatism, which gives him muscle pain or a joints pain. For this problem also duck given a solution. Then Kangaroo was very happy, and it said here that I am ready to take you to the moonlight pail, and we will take rounds of a whole world. And the duck was also very happy, and Kangaroo warned him to sit steadily on its tail. Then the journey started, and they both hopped the whole world for 3 times. And lastly the poet asked us that who is so happy in the world? Obviously the duck and the Kangaroo. So this is the recap of the first part. I hope you understand it. So let's move on towards the message of the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo, what we learnt and what it taught us, which was written by Edward Lear. The message of the poem is, this poem makes us to understand that there is definitely at one point of time boredom in life. There will be definitely at one point of life there will be boredom or boreness in our life, but it is not difficult to overcome in your life. You can include little bit of adventure things, you can include habits of yours in your life, and also you can include some different activities which interest you and makes you happy. This poem is also give us a message and tell us there are many problems or numerous problems in our life. Every problem has a solution. This is only the message of the poem. Every problem has a solution. Only if you be calm and think, you can find that no problem as thick as big as if it seems. So keeping this golden rule and very meaningful line, that every problem has a solution. This poem teaches us to face every problem and to have friends to to make the life as interesting, as fun, loving, as adventure as possible. So this is the message of the poem. Let's move on towards the poetic device. The poetic device, first poetic device which is used here in the poem, it is alliteration. Repetition of the first sound or a sounds in a group of words. For example, she sells down by the seashore. So in example you can see the yes has been repeated many times. So this is called alliteration. Let's see in the poem what alliteration example we got. See children, good gracious, how you hop, but to balance, sit steadily. Here in the first line G is repeated twice. Here also H is repeated, how you hop, and here but and balance, BB, and sit steady. So these are the examples for alliteration. So next poetic device is refrain. What is refrain? A sound, word, phrase or a line repeated regularly in a poem, usually at the end of each stanza or verse, such as the chorus in a song. For example, there lived a lady by the north seashore, lay the bench to the bonny broom. Two daughters were the babes she bore, fa la 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 la. As one grew bright as is the sun, lay the bent to the bonny broom. So coal black grew the other one, fa la 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 la. So children, here you can see the line, complete line was repeated twice. So this is only considered as refrain of the poetic device. What example we got in this poem? Let's see. Highlights the urgency of refrain, said the duck to the kangaroo. This line has been repeated many times in the poem, which is highlighting the urgency of the duck's desire and its persistent nature. So it is considered as refrain. So now next poetic device is anaphora. Anaphora. It is a repetition for effect. Writer often repeat specially chosen words or phrases to emphasize a point or stress certain ideas for the reader. If it is emphasizing on a point or stressing on certain ideas for reader, then it considered as anaphora device, poetic device. Let's see in example what we get. And to keep out the cold, I bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I will smoke. And they hoped the whole world 3 times round, and who so happy? Oh, who? So children, here, and the word is repeated many times, so it considered and it is emphasizing on the desires and the words of duck to the kangaroo as well as the poet words, which is emphasizing here and stressing here, so it considered as anaphora, example for anaphora. So now let's move on towards the next poetic device, imagery. Very interesting poetic device, imagery. Author uses words and phrases to help create mental images. Through words, the poet will create imagination or pictures in front of our eyes in our mind. So that is considered as imagery. I wandered, for example, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over valleys and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So here the poet created many pictures in our mind by giving the words, imagery words. Let's see what example we got of this poetic device. Good gracious, how you hop over the field and the water too, as if you never would stop. So here you can see the poet is trying to give an imagination of field and water in the first example, and hops of the kangaroo. And your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold and would probably give me the row. So here also the poet is trying to give the feeling and imagination of the pond and the duck which feet were cold and wet. So it is considered as the example of imagery. So next we will move towards the next part of the session. which is rhyme scheme. What is rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme is a pattern that is created at the end of the line of the poetry. I know everybody knows about it, and we discussed this rhyme scheme in the last session also, in last poem discussion also. Let's see what poetic device the poet has used in this poem. Said the duck to the kangaroo. Oh, so here the last word will considered as A, the sound O. Okay. Next, good gracious, how you hop. This will be considered as B. Next, over the fields and the water too. O, kangaroo too. Then again it is repeated here, so we will write A. As if you never would stop. Hop, stop. So it considered as B. Okay. May life is a bow in this nasty pond. Then it is different itself. We will write C. And I long to go out in the world beyond. Pond, beyond. Same. So we will write C. I wish I could hop like you. You. U. O. So it sounds as if A. So we will write A here. Said the duck to the kangaroo. O. Again it repeated. So we are writing A. So the rhyme scheme of this poem is A B, A B, C C, A A. So this rhyme scheme has been followed in this poem. I hope you understand how to find out the rhyme scheme of the poem. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have doubts, you can send me a message, or else you can text me. You can call me. I will clear your doubt. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video.